Hi, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's Vita Luca, and today I got kind of an interesting video for you. So my husband and I went to see a house recently, and we were the last appointment for the day, and I had to rush from my job home so that we could be there on time. And we got there about 5 minutes late. And there was still like a couple viewing the house when we arrived, and there's absolutely no parking for anyone. We were all just kind of huddled up on the side of the street, which I guess I don't expect people to provide parking, but like when you're advertising that you have so much parking because they have a 2-car garage. And then going through a walkthrough, they were like, oh yeah, you could drive down here and put your car in there, or you can drive your car down and put it on the lot. That we should have been able to at least do that for viewings, because it also kind of shows if we have friends over and we have more than one car, there's really no place for them to park. And like the owner had their car parked up on their garage. So not only did they have 2 cars inside, then they had one off on the side. So it's like, okay, we were to live here, we'd be able to fit 2 more cars basically. And then they were like, oh, well, you can also like do this and this and this, but those options really weren't for guests. So that kind of off-put everything. Yeah, so we get to the viewing, and yeah, the realtor just completely rushed us. The owner of the house was like watching our every move. And so I didn't get to take pictures. I didn't get to take videos. Nothing like that. It was literally like you walk into a room, you get one question, we move to the next room. Literally like that. We didn't get to look around. Nothing. We couldn't check to see if there was like any damages that we would potentially have to fix because the owner's watching us. The realtor's just like watching you. Just made it very like uncomfortable and like really fast. It's like, do you even want us to buy the house, or you just want us to get out here because you want the couple before us or some other couple to buy the house? Like, anyways, coming up to the property, I saw that there was structural damage. Their foundation has some issue spots that could become issues. They're not necessarily issues now, but they probably could become issues. They said they have a basement. They don't have a basement. And so I'll put up floor plans and pictures throughout all of this so you guys can see what rooms I'm talking about. And I'm just using what they have online that's available for the public to see. So you can literally just search this house up on your own and find all these pictures. So I shouldn't be violating anyone's anything. And it comes from M Realty. It comes from these people owning that house. They're not my photos. I took them from the internet. So you walk into the house, and there's the mud room that they don't show you. So you walk in. It's got like these beige tiles, beige walls, like nothing fancy. The tiles would need to be changed because they're not new. And then from there, you walk into the rest of the house. And for me, my vision for this house was ripping up the green flooring and putting in like a gray, maybe like a purple that's mixed with gray. So like a lilac that you then put gray undertones in. And you put that there just so it blends in better. But the green floor and the floor in the kitchen and living room are completely brand new. So that kind of threw my dream out the window, because it's like, well, I don't want to waste their money and my money because they just put in the wrong color flooring. Like, I get that you might like green. I love green. Emerald's my favorite color. The flooring is emerald. That doesn't mean I want my floors to be green, because it's just not aesthetically pleasing. And like they have a green back wall in the living room. And again, to me, I love green. I don't want it in my house like that. I'd rather have a piece of furniture that is like the pinpoint of the room than, like, I get accent walls and why you might have one. I want a sparkly accent wall myself. But I don't want that to be in the main room of the house. I don't want that to be the main color. Like, I don't want my floors to be these sparkly pink or white flooring. Like, no. Like, I'd put that in a bedroom. And then they have like, in the first room when you walk in, they have like this weird wallpaper that's back there. And the room's also beige and the rest of the house is white. Except for maybe the mudroom area. I really wasn't paying attention to the walls. But they were either white or beige. But this one room has beige walls and then the wallpaper. And none of the floorings in the room were actually changed or are new, which I thought they would have been at least the same flooring that's in the living room and kitchen. So now, if you want to match all your flooring, you either got to rip up everything or find what they previously used. Which I went looking through Kika and they didn't have anything that was similar at all. So, like, that would be something you'd have to specifically ask them, like, where did you get this? Because I want to make the rest of your house match. Because it's something that they just couldn't do. Though the flooring in those two areas aren't bad. I really wouldn't know, though, because they had carpet over it. And, like, I was watching another YouTuber who mentioned, like, they had carpet over flooring and were hiding water damage. And because of this, I made sure to ask, like, do you have water damage? Have you ever flooded? What is the drainage like? And they were like, everything's fine. So I'm also like, I don't know if I believe that. So then we went into the other two bedrooms, which both have murals on their back walls. Like, it looks really nice and well done, and, like, it took a lot of effort. But for me, I would prefer plain white wall. And same, especially in the master bedroom, I'd prefer a plain white wall. I don't know. I don't want, like, I want an accent wall for, like, my office space, but not for my bedroom. But even then, when I was thinking about it, I was like, well, the only reason that the only way that this would become doable after we started using the rooms for, like, children or guests, it wouldn't work then anyways. So then I was like, but it's fine because I only had it for this house. Well, no, I have it in general, but we're looking at brand new houses that are being built that have like 3 to 4 rooms. So I would put it in my 4th room, but not necessarily in the 3 others. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, and then going back to, they're both actually, I think the one with like the garden mural would actually be the master bedroom because it's much larger than the other one, but I'm pretty sure the other one is what's supposed to be the master bedroom. But anyways, they also have an attic that's located through what I'm going to just call the master bedroom, which is the one with the palm trees on the wall. And they were saying that as long as you, like, build stairs up there, it could be its own little apartment. And they said that everything's set up for it, but we didn't get to see it, so I don't know if I trust them. Because I imagine it's crap, and you'll see why later. And so another weird thing was, in the master bedroom, there's a window. There's a window connected to another room in the house. So from that room, you could see into the master bedroom. And from the master bedroom, you can see into that room. So, kind of weird. But then, so from the master bedroom, you go out to the end of the hallway. You have the door to the outside. And then you have this room that I'm talking about that you can see for the master bedroom, which is this. And yeah, it is what it is. And they even said that it wasn't part in the recent renovation. Nothing back there has ever been changed from the original, like, plan of the house. So that window was always in that spot in the master bedroom, apparently. I don't. It's just weird to me. And then you go into the bathroom. Bathroom's never been touched. It is what it is. And the toilet, the back isn't to any kind of wall. Like, if someone were going to the bathroom, they're watching you. And it doesn't make sense. And up until this point, before the bathroom and everything, we learned that the house is heated through coals, which it did say a solid fuel, but then it has radiators. And I was like, how is it heated from solid fuel? Because to me, when I hear solid fuel, I'm thinking firewood in a fireplace. But there was no fireplace, so I was like, okay, I'd rather just ask about what's going on there. And yeah. It's heated by coals. It'll cost about 20,000 crowns a year. I'll put the price conversion. And that's to heat your house from October to August. But yet I asked her, does it typically get cold in the house? And she's like, oh no, the walls are very thick because it's old. And I was like, so why are you spending the $20K to heat your house when you don't need to? Canadian here, hi. I don't find it cold in winters at all, and I rarely use heat in my house, and my house is hot all the time. Especially in the summer. It's a sauna. Every night my husband and I are like, man, it is hot in here. And we don't have any heaters on. We have the windows open. Just nothing works in the apartment that we're living in right now. Like, it's just hot. And so I'm just thinking, like, if it's not cold in your house, why are you heating it? And I'm also someone who, because I had a house that, or had an apartment, a basement suite, that ran on electric heating, and my electricity bill would be $300 if I ran all the heaters, that I just ran one to keep my bill cut in half and just sucked it up. And we have -50 winters, and it's like constantly -30. But the way that the house was set up anyways, the main piped areas didn't have a heater near it anyways, so you still were at risk of freezing your pipes without me heating the house anyways. So I'm not someone who will use heat if I don't necessarily need to. So having to go outside and shovel the coal into the fireplace just wasn't... I'd probably do that once the entire winter, if that. Like, depending on how thick these walls are that she says they are. But anyways, then we found out when we went outside, we went looking around. They have like a massive plot. You'll see it in these next photos. So they have not only what you see in the fence, but they also have, so like how you're seeing it, they have a plot to the right. Yeah, that's my right hand. They have a plot to the right, and it's just this big hunkin' piece of land that they use as a garden. And that's also where their sewage gets picked up. So they don't have plumbing. And see, this is something that I would be testing if I wasn't being watched. I would have turned on her water. I would have turned on her heat. I would have seen how fast everything flowed out. Because going from like just apartment viewings in Canada, I've had issues with the shower not fully working. And I had to wait for them to come in and fix it, which meant I don't get to have like a shower. I have to like put my head under the running water from the tap because it doesn't come out otherwise unless I want to struggle with it. And then you get shot with cold water every time you wanted to shower. So like, I wish. So from that experience, I like to go and turn things on when I'm looking at houses and whatnot. So you see what comes out of it. Yeah, no, we were being watched by the owner, and I didn't feel comfortable because I'm like, she probably doesn't want me, like, running up her bill for 2 minutes. And so, yeah, so a regular heating, because coal is insanely old. And then no plumbing. And then from this point on, he went to show us the basement. So the basement, when you come down the steps, because you'll kind of see in the photos, but like all to alongside of the house, they just have these empty holes. Some have doors, some don't. Some are just holes in the wall, like a big hole in the wall that's meant for you to go into and whatnot. And so one big hole is where they have their oven for the coals. And then they have like another hole, like a big, when I say a hole, I mean like a massive square that like 5 people can fit in, like fit through at the same time. Like it's large. And like men have to duck under here. Like it's like 5'1". The ceiling is 5'1", because I fit comfortably. While like the realtor and my husband were like hunched over and whatnot. And I'm like, wow, this is perfect for me. I didn't have to duck at all. And even to get in, I didn't have to duck because it was kind of low bearing for them. Like they had to duck, and I was just like, my little 5-foot self just fits perfectly. But yeah, so then there's another hole, not as big, but kind of the same. And that's where the coal would be kept. And so then you just shovel it into the furnace. And then there was another one that was likely the same, but they put a wooden board over it. I'm guessing so people can't get in. Because again, just a big giant hole. And they had one before the furnace that had doors on it. But then they had the furnace area, big hole. The other area, big hole with a wooden block on it. And then another one where they had a bunch of crap in it because that's their storage. It's just shoving stuff under their house. So it's not like a real basement. It can't be turned into a basement suite. Maybe you could, just maybe. But like, I would say no. Like you would have to do a lot of work on that. And like all of these areas were not well kept at all. Like, if you wanted to make them livable, you would have to do a lot of work into them. And then, so they brought us over to the barn. We never got to see the inside of the shed. They brought us over to the barn. Each door where the barn is, like each door in the barn, because you can kind of see it on the photos, there's 4 doors on the barn. Each one is its own room that they used for storage. None of it has floors. Like, the roof of the barn needs work. You can see that from the outside photos. Like, the one half really needs work. There's nothing going on in there. It's literally just wood and they're crap. Just everywhere. They don't have flooring in there. The flooring is the ground. So, because I'll tell you what my ideas for this house was after and why it won't work with my plans now. Anyway, so yeah, each room had its own issues. And it was just used for storage, nothing else. There's nothing done to it at all. Then you go into the garage, and the garage is done for where the cars go. But they were like, oh, you got storage up above in it? Yeah, that has nothing there. That probably just has flooring and whatever, and you don't have a way to get there. So, And then he showed us where the accessibility to the attic is from the outside. And yeah, it's just a door on the side of the house. We would have to build stairs to even get there, and then we would have to renovate it and whatnot. But then also, I don't think many people rent out in Melnik, which is where this is. Like, it's 25 kilometers from Prague. I'm pretty sure if people live out there, they tend to buy their houses instead of rent. But, you never know. But I can't see someone wanting to rent an attic out of you in Melnik. Like, in Prague, sure, 100%. People will rent whatever from you. But in Melnik, I don't see it. Same with the basement suite. I don't see it. Like, in Prague, sure, you can Airbnb them. Nobody goes. I don't think anybody would go to Melnik for that. And then again, then you have the issue with the parking, where now if you had someone up there, now you got 2 cars in your garage, you can only get one more, or only one person can visit and have the ability to park comfortably, or ruin your grass. One of those two, because he was like, oh, yes, you could park a car in here, but there's no floor. So good luck getting your car out. You could get it in, but I don't think you could get it out. My plans for this house was that we would get rid of the green flooring because I thought it was old. Under your feet, it's completely brand new, but like, yeah, I just can't. Not with the green. I don't think it suits the house very well. And like, yeah, I would repaint the walls. Mainly just the featured walls in every room and take off the crappy wallpaper. But the one room, I would make it fully white instead of beige. And now from the entryway, that would need whatever flooring goes in the hallway in that one spot and just make it all match. I'd probably leave the bedroom flooring for a while, but that would eventually need to be changed to at least like try to match the one, because they're like 2 different colors. So one is mixed with a bunch of colors. The other one's like light. It's like a light wood color. And then the other one's mixed from light and dark. And so I would try to match it at least. And then what I wanted to do was, for that back room, just completely put up a wall. You can't access it from that hallway anymore. And then rip out all the flooring there. Put in whatever flooring we put into the rooms. It would just match. It would have access from the master bedroom, probably where that window is. Because that's kind of nice that there's already a hole in the wall, and it's just like, oh, take out a little bit more, and bam. Though I didn't know at the time that there was a window there. But it would work in this case. So yeah, put a door there, turn that room into a like massive closet. And then it would have access to the bathroom, which, worst case scenario, I would just rotate the toilet and change all the tiles. Best case scenario, it gets made smaller. And then the other area for the bedroom gets made bigger. And then I could have the washing machine in there. And then like have all the stuff so that it's an easy like hang things to dry situation. And then also I would put a door from the living room to the bathroom in. And I would like to rearrange the kitchen, but it's not necessarily like a massive issue. I would just prefer to put the sink where the heater is in the kitchen and then have a bigger space for a fridge, for a bigger fridge. That's all I would really do in the kitchen. And the living room, I would change the light fixtures. And in the kitchen too. I would change those light fixtures to at least be normal. And then the outside, for the barn, it has to be like completely fully done. Completely. Like there's nothing in there. That would have to be completely done. Would need a whole new roof. Yeah, with the foundation having to be done and the plumbing needing to be changed and the heating needing to be changed, it's just a no. It's not something that I could live in long term because if we don't change those, the value of the house will go down in the future. Like it doesn't, like in Prague, basically if you just have a house, it's like 6 million up. Like you will not find a cheap, crappy house in Prague. Like it's not possible. If the house is crappy, it's not cheap at all. And yeah, that house needs a lot of work and it's not in Prague. And I can guarantee in like 20 to 40 years, no one's gonna even know what coal is by that point. Like I imagine if I'm trying to sell this to a young family, they're gonna be like, what? You don't have regular plumbing and you have to heat your house by coal? I don't even know what that is. Like, that's how it's going to be. And the value of the house is going to just completely drop. Because I can't see anyone wanting that unless they were, like, super old and that's how their family did it. But then they're, like, almost dead. By that point, in, like, 20 to 40 years from now, yeah, they're probably going to be, like, 80 to 100. Because I'm like, I didn't even heat my house with coal, ever. My mom, I don't think, ever had to heat any of her houses with coal. So, like, anyone who had to do that is already, like, old. And 20 to 40 years, they may not be here. And so, yeah, like, it's something that would definitely have to be changed. And I was talking to a contractor about it. They're Canadians who now live out here. I'm guessing, I think her husband's Czech. And they're, like, starting their business where they're building houses out of wood and they're building them the Canadian way, basically, like the Canadian way. And with that, she was like, well, if we built the house the way that we build the house, there would be no problem to change the heating setup or to change the plumbing situation. But in a Czech house, especially an older one, it's difficult because things aren't near each other. Like, it doesn't work. And so she was like, it'd be extremely difficult. And if it's extremely difficult, then it's extremely expensive. So yeah, that whole house is just a no. You can kind of see also, and aesthetically, it wasn't like the nicest. It's the nicest that I've seen for something that's already built. Just because Czech people have really weird issues with color. But I don't understand why in their bathrooms that they have to have all these weird colors and why their bathroom has to be like pink or green. I've seen some of those. Yellow, red, blue. They kind of get blue, but when like Czechs do bathroom, it's like flooring to wall blue. So it's overboard. Like crazy overboard. So yeah, that house just wasn't for us. And if we view any more, I'll definitely try to get some videos of it. But right now we are mainly looking at houses that are being built in the moment, so they're going to be completely brand new. And we're just looking for ones that have the area space that I want, because I don't want to pay 6 million crowns for 300 meters squared, especially when this house was like 3,000 crowns per meter squared. That's like an insanely good price, whereas most places are like 240,000 crowns per meter squared, or like 20,000 crowns per meter squared, and it's kind of just ridiculously expensive. And that's really why I liked her house. But I also wanted to make the barns into like a rabbit place so that I could put my rabbits there. I could rescue rabbits and they could all live in the barn. And I was going to set up like heating and everything in it so that it would be kind of normal, but then it would also be like stable-like that you would kind of have for like a horse. And so they would each have their own room, and I wanted to put like plexiglass in it so they could see each other and still like have that rabbit closeness without being close enough to kill each other. And then, yeah, I could even do like a rescue bunny farm, and they could run out and like go outside and play for a bit, just put each one out, and I'd supervise them outside. But that dream has now been crushed. so it doesn't matter anyways. That was the house we viewed. That was my plans for it, and that's why it didn't work. Please like, subscribe, and join my YouTube channel. Be sure to turn on the notification bell. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!